Yo, what up? And welcome to another episode of Straight from the Stands, an unapologetic, unofficial LA Galaxy podcast, hosted by 4 my supporters who bring you their thoughts and views on everything related to LA Galaxy, straight from the stands. I am your co-host Smarts, alongside the always angry Angel, his counterpart level-headed George, and the man with the facts, Masa. This is Straight from the Stands. Good evening.
What up, y'all?
What's up, man?
What up?
What up, man? How you guys doing?
Feel great.
Pretty good. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. Nice long weekend.
Everybody had day off today?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Same.
Well, I mean, I drove like 8 hours. So
Well,
not
you put in a
really.
shift. Fuck that.
Oh yeah, you went to Arizona, huh?
Yeah.
I did
How was
absolutely nothing today. Like I was trading some players in FIFA. I was watching.
How was your weekend league?
Fuck
Let's
you.
talk about that.
Let's not even talk about that. Fuck you. All right.
This is a Galaxy podcast.
Yeah. No. This is Galaxy podcast, not the FIFA podcast. This is a Galaxy podcast. Yeah, I didn't do shit though. I was watching fucking Deadliest Catch, the new season, all day long. I just tight. I fucks with that a lot.
Is that like a? Is that like a
You never seen it?
fish? No.
Is the show where they catch crabs. Yeah, like actual crabs, like like seafood crabs, not you know what I mean?
HBO after
catch
hours?
as fuck for sure.
Oh
Yo,
shit.
after hours, huh?
Nah, man, like fishing in Alaska, man. Y'all bugging. I swear to God, can't have.
I'm familiar with the show because South Park made an episode about that, and that shit was hilarious.
Right.
Yeah, it
That's
was
the
a
reference to
poker
it?
face episode. It was poker face, poker face. Yeah, and it's I mean, I know it's not that specific because that one was about catching whales. I think it was. It's the
Yeah,
episode where
no.
Stan was like, all about the whales, and yeah, I refer to it as the Lady Gaga episode because there's a scene in there where Cartman and Kenny are playing, I think, Guitar Hero, I think it is, but it's the one with the one where you can also sing. Um, and he was singing Lady Gaga, so I
Okay.
never forget. Yeah, there you go. That's the one. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's funny because Cartman is mama. Yeah, it's just funny.
Oh my
From the
God,
South
dog.
Park.
Hold on, I usually don't put comments up on when we start the stream, but this one wins right here. They filmed the season at Coachella
Accurate.
for the crabs. All right, y'all wilding, man. That's not what I meant, yo. That's not what
That
I
was
meant, yo.
that was.
That's perfect.
You know what? Can I want to before we dive deep into this, I do want to make a quick shout out here since he decided to comment about Coachella and decided to jump into our shit right away. Romaldinho, if you guys
Oh, here
recall
it
the
is.
last few episodes, he's been talking all his bad shit, about how he's gonna whoop my ass in FIFA, that the first game was a fluke, or he was getting accustomed to his team. It was a bunch of bullshit, right? I don't know if you guys recall, in the Riot Squad in the FIFA Riot Squad cast thing
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
that we all participate in. I played him. I think it was week 1 or week 2, but Pointy was the very first person I played. I don't know if you guys recall. I was beating him for like 85 minutes of the game, and then he scored. Towards the end of the game, and he celebrated like he won the World Cup. Like, all right, cool. I get it. When you're trash team, I get it. Boom. Fast forward. Season's gone by. They opened up the games again, and we played again today. He's been talking all his mad shit, talking about, oh well, now I know my team. Now I know how I'm gonna do this.
I have
Oh,
a backstory to you.
I beat
I might help
Rooney.
you out here.
I beat Rooney like 100-0. Oh, and Rooney beat you, so I'm gonna fuck you up. Oh, you suck. Oh, that's a bunch of shit. All right,
Okay.
game starts. Like in FIFA minutes.
Uh-huh.
5 minutes into FIFA minutes. 5 minutes in FIFA minutes. He scores on me. I'm like, all right, cool. I ain't bugging. I'm not a trash player. I mean, I'm above average, but I'm not Massa level, so I'll be fine against someone like Romo. Cool. Like a minute into it, after boom, I get back to him. I score off of a header. All right, easy. Second half, we get into it. Boom, another one. I'm up 2-1. Like, all right, cool. I got this. I ain't even tripping. And then he's over here talking about, oh, am I playing counterattack? I'm parking the bus. Masa's living proof that I don't even know how to do tactics on FIFA. Like I'm
This
learning.
is accurate.
Yeah,
This is accurate.
I'm learning a little bit because Masa explained to me, but I don't know what I'd be doing. I saw where the tactic shit is. I just don't know what I'd be doing if I did anything. So that's that. 2-1. There's like 5 minutes
you're up
left
right
in the
now.
game.
You're up
Yeah,
right now.
I'm up 2-1. Five
Okay.
minutes left in the game. Again, he ties me. I'm like, all right, and you could tell the emotion because he celebrated with his player and all that bunch of shit. I'm like, all right, I get it. When you're trash like that, I get it. Boom, and then guess what happened next? We're like, in extra time, he scores on me.
And he beat you?
2-2.
Nah, he scores on
3-2,
me.
right?
But straight up, we're 3-2. But y'all remember what happened to Man City against Tottenham? Offside, baby.
Oh no shit.
Outside.
Oh,
He was outside, so we tied 2-2.
all right,
And I
Angel,
wasn't
Angel,
bugging.
hold
And
up,
I wasn't
Angel,
bugging.
Angel.
So
I'm
yeah,
gonna back you up with the story. So, and it's rare for me to be on your side for shit. Me, Masa, and Roma were having a conversation about this last tailgate, and the words that came out of his mouth was Angel was the first person I played. So I didn't. So I was calm. I didn't know what to do. I played Rooney. So everything that you said,
It's true.
I heard already, and yeah,
Ye-
100%.
ye-
So he's
ye-
not lying. He's not lying.
there
So,
you go.
but
And
yeah, no.
I
It
have
was
not
me,
talked to.
Masa,
Look,
and
this
Romo.
happened
Me,
today. This
yeah,
happened today.
we
I
haven't
have
talked about
not.
this.
Yeah, George and I haven't even seen each other since Sunday, which was
Yeah,
yesterday. But
yeah.
obviously, I didn't play. I mean, I played Romo earlier today, and I haven't. Honestly, I don't even know,
I-
George. What you do today?
It's I went maternity shoots for the baby, and then I went
Nice.
to Dodger
Okay.
Stadium.
Cool. Well,
I
there you
didn't
go.
see
That's
you.
what my friend did. I didn't know what he did today, but now I do.
All
Thanks,
right.
Romo.
Yeah,
So
Sorry. Yeah.
but Romo, dog, you ain't shit. All that shit you talked about Angel in person, talking about like, oh, it was my first game. I didn't get it. I didn't know what to do. You ain't shit to tie about it again, because he was talking mad head.
Yeah,
hey,
and to the listeners, I apologize. We're like what 5 minutes
yeah, I'm
into
about to say, can we
Riot's
get into
podcast,
it?
and listen, we don't really talk about our FIFA shit. Like if you want to listen to FIFA updates, go to the Riot Squadcast. Like they talk about that. They have a segment where it's like FIFA updates, so go check that out there. But I just want to throw this out there because George is proof. Romo's been bugging for a minute, and when you're trash and you tie me, I get it. It's like you win the World Cup.
All right. So with that being said, with all that bullshit out the way, let's talk some
Yeah,
Galaxy. Yeah.
hell yeah.
Any news from Friday to now? We know anything about Polenta? Anybody heard?
Yeah, ankle still day to day. Most likely will be back until the weekend. Not gonna play Wednesday.
Okay,
Okay.
so
That
he's
was
out.
announced earlier
All
today.
right. Well, I have a question once we get into it. But yeah, keep going with the news.
Anything else? See, I took a day off. I was not online. I didn't hear anything. So
Jonah's gonna be good to go, and supposedly Zlatan and GBS is excited to see what Zlatan and Fabio can do together.
Mhm.
dope.
Those are the three biggest news that came out. Obviously, Araujo's gone with the U.S. national
Did
team.
he play today? Do you
Um,
know?
no, he didn't. I saw
Yeah.
the game and he did
They
not
won
play.
today, I believe, though, right?
Yeah.
They won 2-0. Yeah,
Cool.
they
Yeah,
won
nice as
2-0.
fuck.
Yeah. All right.
Better than Mexico.
All right. Let's not non-national team. Non-national team news.
I'm sorry, that's the only
Non-national
soccer I
teams.
watched this weekend.
Non-national
Well,
teams.
I'm just talking about Araujo because he
Araujo.
played
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
play
for
today.
sure.
Yeah, that's all I said.
All right. So with that being said, we played on Friday at 4 o'clock, way fucking early.
Hey,
Against
shout out to Beer Garden. It was 3:59, and I was doing the live podcast for Straight from the Stands, the Jorge and Masa show.
Without me.
Hashtag pray for Masa, but we prayed for you and we got you. And it was empty, but as soon as kickoff happened, I want to say a good like 10, 15 people showed up for a Friday at 4 p.m. That shit
yeah,
was dope.
and they kept coming in until second half. Like by the end of the game was a nice turnout for
Yeah,
early
I
game
saw
on
the picture.
Friday.
It looked like a good turnout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for a Friday night it was dope. But
I wasn't in the picture, huh?
nope, because he had jammed. All right, so let's talk about this game. I mean, listen, we finally got a losing prediction in this show. Well, not this show, the tailgate, but Angel, you shot in your prediction and you said 3-0. I had a draw and I was kind
Nah,
of
I said we were gonna win 1-0.
psych.
No,
Yeah,
you
tripping.
Nah.
listen, we got receipts.
I was hoping for a 1-1 draw. You boys were pretty sure. I think you guys both called the win. On
Yeah,
the
Eddie.
I called the win.
Yeah, I called a win too. I said
I also said these motherfuckers weren't gonna score on them.
yeah. And it turned out well. I mean, we ended up we took a victory away from home, first time in Orlando. What do you guys
That's
think
nice.
about this? You know, what I mean, what were your thoughts on the game? So let's talk lineups.
thoughts on the game or like or
Hold
like
on, hold
overall.
on. So before we hop into it, let's talk about lineups because we did have faces in there that we're not used to having, right? In the back line we had goalie we had Big Bingham.
Big,
Super
big,
big. Dog.
enorme.
We have Bingham. We had I'm sorry, Pipo and Steris, Felcher and Shelvick. No Polenta in sight. Apparently, before the game, he got a tweaked ankle, so he wasn't even in the starting 18. In the midfield, I almost want to say it was four, right? Because it was Corona and Jonah,
Yeah.
Cuello and Leggett, and then a 1-1 with Fabio and Antuna. Antuna playing further up, and Fabio playing kind of a false nine, if you want to call it that. What were your thoughts when you saw the lineup?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I wanted to see something different, and then I had also mentioned that I know I had talked about you either pick people or stairs, but I think it's kind of like a blessing in disguise that Polenta tweaked his shit, because then might have seen fucking Polenta or left back again.
Yeah.
And it's like you gotta make that call. You either pick one or the other, and there it was, dog. That shit was nice. Both of those fools did a solid ass job.
Yeah, it was decent. What about Cuello? The inclusion of Cuello in the start lineup.
When I saw Quayle, I immediately thought that GBS was gonna stick true to Fabio being that cam role, that creative role. Because bringing him in, they've advertised him as a type of player that you could switch. He's very versatile. He's played on the wing. He's played up top. He's played as a cam role. So immediately when I knew that we had pieces missing, I thought we were gonna have someone on the left or right. You know, you can move Fabio and make it happen. But when I saw him, that was kind of my clue to think that GBS is making it happen, and he's gonna stick true to it. He's kind of it is what it is. We don't have the players right now, but this is the plan that I want when Southern comes back and we have these players. So let's get them in that position already.
Yep. Angel, what were your thoughts on the lineup?
I honestly didn't care. I was ready to take an L. I didn't give a shit. I can tell you, I'm even right now, and I had this conversation with George and Eddie from Magny Sunday. I mean, sure they tried Quay on the wing. I didn't like him. I didn't like the idea of him there, and I still don't. After the game, even after the game, I still was not cool with the idea of him there.
Interesting. Cool. Well, let's definitely talk about that. I'll say I wasn't sure what to expect with Cuello, with Antuna and Fabio up there, just because we didn't see anything last game. So I was just like, what can we expect from this, right?
Yeah.
So let's get into a game, and I think again we have a tale of two halves, because I think the first half and second half were they're distinctive, and I want to get into the reason why they were. But let's talk about the first half. Anyone want to kick up? All right, cool.
Oh, right.
I
Well,
don't.
well,
I
no, no,
don't.
well,
I don't want to talk anything about this
I
game.
didn't think you made it seem like it was like
I'm sorry. Yeah, so I'm
I thought
leading
you
it
were.
off.
All right.
I'm leading it off.
No, the first half, honestly, I've heard a lot of discussions, and it's unfair because I've talked to many people about it. Like Angel mentioned, like he doesn't feel that Cuello on the left was fundamental. But honestly, I think he added to what we've been wanting, and that's passes through the floor.
Yeah.
He was attempting a lot of that. People weren't reaching to it. Like it is what it is. They weren't making the runs, or it was off. Me personally, and you and I talked about this at Beer
Beer
Garden.
Garden. Yep.
I think the fact that these passes were attempted had the defense thinking otherwise than just let's back up into the box and let's try to defend a corner kick, basically a corner pass. And I think that was what opened it up. Although they didn't reach their
They weren't
target.
precise with it. Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't precise. It didn't get to the spot. I think the fact that they were attempted made the defense had us. They split them up,
Yeah, for sure.
and I think that opened up the game. Even though it wasn't a play that opened up the game or like a crazy play, I think the fact that we were attempting it opened it opened up the game.
Yeah. So in my notes, I have, in the first half, we finally saw a game plan. Now it wasn't executed 100%. We didn't get really, I guess, all the chances that we would have hoped for. But there was a game plan, right? Where it wasn't just run, drive, and cross, look for Zlatan. There was something else. There was chances being taken. There was creativity being showcased. Again, maybe not the end result, right? We didn't get the last, the last play to happen. But the build up to it was a lot better than we've seen in a lot of other games. So we saw, one thing we saw a lot of crosses in the floor. Something we've been yelling and bitching about. Like, don't always just cross it. With a high ball, like, get some driven crosses, and we finally saw that. And one of them led to to Jonah's goal, right? It was a low driven cross by Fulcher, who that the forced the defense to just clear it right back to where both Fabio and Jonah were sitting, right? Fabio was smart enough to let it run, and Jonah just banger,
Yeah.
right? Thoughts on that? Thoughts on Jonah just fucking taking that.
About fucking time.
Yes and no. Building up to the play, I think that's the only reason why we've asked for things to come through the floor. Through the floor, it was a terrible clearance by the defender, but it was a hard pass through the floor that honestly any defender that could clear that perfectly shouldn't be in the MLS for my thoughts because it's hard. It's hard to defend that type of pass. So it did what we had to happen, and finally we take shots. It sucks the fact that we're taking shots off of these mistakes, and I to build on this, I want us to see this and take shots with us having the ball at feet. But this is ultimately what we wanted. We didn't want passes on the floor because we thought people were going to get on the end of it. Sure, that was the thing, but we understood that it's very hard to control those passes when it's coming through the floor, driven really hard. If you clear the ball well, then you're good. Clear it out, but it's very hard to clear. So it's gonna give and it's gonna give our players like Emma, that's 5'2", Uriel, that's 4'7", fucking Cuello, that's 4'2", like those type of players. I'm exaggerating on the height, but those type of players need something on their feet to bounce off to make a shot.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, listen, you could say it came off a mistake, but Jonah took his chance, right? There was a chance there, and he took it well.
Alvarez took a chance too.
Yeah,
because Alvarez just walked by the ball because that communication was there.
And I'm okay with that. And listen, that was as much shit we talked about Rowe on the tailgate, that was a banger. You know what I mean? That wasn't a easy block in my opinion, right? Like for a goalkeeper,
it was on his first goal.
But it had pace. It had pace in that curl.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It wasn't like, and it wasn't near him. Like, listen, if he would have blocked, that would have been impressive, right? Because
I wish we would have seen it from the back angle.
Yeah,
that would have been a good shot. I've only seen from the left hand side.
Yeah. No, but listen, when he shot it, I knew it was a goal. Right when he got it, like you straight tell it was a contact, and that was gonna go in, and
it was good.
And sure enough, like that went in. Yeah, man. But like that had a big change of pace in the game, right? Because they had been going back and forth, and then we scored, and then it seemed like to me that Orlando turned it up a notch. Right? What do you guys
think? In the first half or second half?
And even in the first half, after that goal,
I think we closed out the first half okay. Like, obviously the penalty.
Yo, the fucking block is hot right now. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get back to you right quick.
Hey, IG Live, straight from the stands. No, but
shit.
Hey, everyone, hashtag pray for Angel. We had to pray for Masa.
Now we gotta pray for Angel. This time. Yo, guys, it's gonna be on live though. It's gonna be on. It's gonna be on YouTube.
No, but, honestly, like I think that the way that it happened, the things that we were happening is because we weren't playing the ball right, and I think it's very different from what was happening in the second half. I think the first half, it was our mistakes or some things were happening that we were allowing them to attack. Maybe that be my point of view, and I'm very biased to what happened this because I feel very strong to what happened in the second half. In the first half, maybe it might be a goal hangover, even though the goal came a little. What minute the goal came in?
It came early. It came
like 20.
Even okay. I thought it was before that.
No, I watched the game today. I watched the game right before.
There might be a little bit of a goal hangover, but I would say that's what it is. But I think it's very different to what happened in the second half. So that's why I agree with you that it might be a tale of two halves. But I think that we might be off on why that is, though. Because the first half, what did you think? What did you see?
I really felt like it was Orlando turning it up. You know what I mean? I think they turned it up. Half? Yeah, even in the first half. It changed the dynamic. Really. Well, yeah, so tell me what you think.
I think first half, I think it was a little back and forth up until we scored the goal. I think then the Galaxy dominated the first half. After that, I think they settled in. I think they touched the ball. They created chances. Except I think after And then after the penalty block, I think the Galaxy kind of walked away in the first half, like no problem. Then second half, I felt like they kind of pressed a little higher. Orlando did, and I think they created a lot more chances in
We'll
the
get to
second
this.
half.
I don't
Mm,
But
know. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
See,
know.
I don't. So I watched the game again today just for the same reason, right? Because it was Friday, and Friday, and then we drank a lot that day, and then
we? Hold on,
Yo,
hold on.
yo,
we
you,
we
Hold
we
on.
as a
you, no,
collective drank a
you.
lot. We as a collective drank a lot on Friday, so I wanted to make sure that my thoughts were on straight and I wasn't just bugging. But yeah, I honestly think Orlando went after it, right? Even in the first half, they went after it, and that's gonna lead me to my biggest point. Shortly after we score a goal, maybe 5 minutes into that, or no, actually no, it was 10 minutes after we score the goal. Jonah does a big fuck up inside the area.
Bad.
So and it's self inflicted too, right? Because he turns back inside the area, loses the ball, and then commits to a slide tackle to try to get the ball, knock the ball back out, and he fouls him. And there's nothing around, like there's no way around it. That was a penalty. When I saw it, I was like, he knew it.
Fuck the foul.
He
Yeah,
knew it
fuck the
too.
foul. Like I take, yo, I respect this man so much, but the fact that after he did this, he grabbed his head and he put it on the floor, like yelling at himself. He didn't yell at it. He didn't yell to like fight the play. He didn't yell to.
Like
And
he
even
knew.
during the penalty, they had a camera on him where he's like pissed at himself. He wasn't looking at the
Yeah,
penalty, and once everything happened, he went happy. And obviously we know Bingham blocked the penalty, and then the
right.
Santos ran to him to celebrate. But this is one of the few, honestly, maybe maybe only three mistakes that I've seen Jonah make this season.
Yeah, like it's rare. It's rare, but this was
Maybe.
it's rare, but this one was
Yeah.
bad because it was self inflicted, right? Like it wasn't like he went for a tackle and he missed it, he got him. Like he turned back into the area, lost the bounce of the area, and committed a penalty. Like it was trifecta of fuck ups, right? Like he did everything he could have done wrong. He did wrong
Yeah,
in the
basically
span
all
of
three fuck ups of the season right there.
right there, right? Like
Boom,
it
boom,
was
boom, boom.
bad. Um, and I thought when that happened for me, I was like, there it is. There's a draw, right? Because there's a penalty. And listen, I don't care how good you are as a goalkeeper, blocking a penalty is it's hard. It's not the easiest thing. You know
Chill.
what I
We
mean?
have the best keeper in MLS. Man, my man's not here to fight it, but we have the best
Listen, he
keeper
knew
in
it was
MLS.
coming, so that's why he left. Oh, he's bullshitting about
Yeah.
the cops and everything. No, but so like straight up, like I thought it was gonna be the equalizer, right? 90 steps up, Bingham guesses right, gets a big pot to it, kind of comes out a little crazy, but we get away with it, and he saves the game. As soon as he blocked that penalty, I told you guys it's gonna be really hard to beat Bingham right now. After a big save like that, man, like it's gonna take a lot
Yep.
for you to be a keeper. And I think we went out the first half. We showed it. He showed that like he had big blocks the first half. He was everything was on. Listen, me and Angel had a Slack conversation. I forgot what the fuck he posted, but I respond to him and he's like, but he can't even catch a ball. I'm okay with that. Like I think all his clearances, for the most part, he had one fuck up, and we'll talk about it in
Hey,
second
real
half.
shit. I think Angel's a piece of shit, and there's nothing happening outside, and
He
he's
just doesn't.
outside
Yeah,
sitting on his porch,
he
and he
doesn't want
doesn't
to talk
want to
about
talk about
it.
Bing. He's a big piece of shit.
But yeah, man, I thought Bingham, and that's the reason why I think or I think Orlando definitely brought it up a notch in the first half, and Bingham had to be big to keep us at 1-0 going into the half. I mean, we ended up the second half with we ended the first half with I think they had like two or three free kicks right outside the area because they were on us and we had to commit
Some
some
of those were
fouls.
bullshit though. Like the yellow card people got, dog. That shit was all ball. Fuck out of here with that
All
bullshit.
Oh,
right,
that shit was
but
bad.
but but he goes in with 2 feet, right? He goes
But
in
he
with two
get, but
feet.
but you get ball though. Like if you get ball, you get ball.
Yeah, but
I don't
listen,
care.
yeah, but the ref is not checking that, right? That he called a foul is not a penalty, is not a red card, right? He sees a foul, he sees a foul, like the guy falls over him, he comes with 2 feet,
Yeah.
it's an easy call for the ref to make, right? Like he didn't have to come in with 2 feet like that. I get what he does, but like he's gonna earn the yellow card, and he picked up the yellow card. It was stupid, it was dumb, but I mean, it is what it is. Like I see the logic behind the refs calling that one, right? And I hate the refs, period. But and that one, I see the refs' logic on that. But we ended up finishing the first half 1-0, and I liked it. I liked it, man. There's a few things in the first half that I really liked. One of them being Fabio. Fabio, last week we've been talking about Fabio. He didn't show enough personality for me. He didn't turn enough. He wasn't. He wasn't trying to push the ball
Yeah.
enough times for me. Right. This game I've seen a few times where it wasn't too flashy, but it was like he let the ball roll and turns and
He's getting
gets.
his swagger back.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
he's getting his
he's
swagger to
getting
his team.
he's getting
He's
swag
getting
with
comfortable. Yeah.
and I've seen that. I seen Cuellar do try some through balls that split the defense. Shovik on the overlap, and I don't think it was like a bad Shovik run. Maybe a little too much weight on the ball from Cuellar, but the through ball was nice. It cut defense
And
in
I
half.
told you, if Antuna's on the end of that,
Yeah,
it's perfect. It's
yeah,
a perfect pass. So
it's,
I ain't mad at it.
at all. That's what I'm saying. Like I like some of the creative ideas they had this game.
Yeah.
Right? Put Zlatan in there and play the same way. Now you got defense worrying about Zlatan, and that ball is gonna cut your defense in half, and that becomes a problem, right?
But I think the difference, and we'll get into because we're gonna focus
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Sporting
KC.
KC. But I think the difference comes what the person when they get that through ball does with that pass. Because if they get that through ball and it goes back into the air, then I think it's just you did something pretty to go back to the same thing.
Yeah, no,
Now,
no,
if you
yeah.
switch it up, then that's when the Galaxy become very dangerous.
Well, I think regardless if they could do a combination of, they'll disrupt the
Damn,
defense.
shit, wild. Ghetto bird outside now.
Shut the fuck up! You just didn't want to hear us
Yeah,
talking about
listen,
Bingham.
we already got to
We
we
got
got
we
to your
get it.
little
We get
stupid
it.
idea. You don't want to talk about Bingham and you didn't want to do all that. You knew we were gonna talk about Bingham and the Cubs are outside type of shit.
So
And
you ran
now
away,
you're
dog.
back.
So you ran away. We get it, dog. We get it, dog. We get it.
Man, fuck Bingham.
All right. So Angel, you got any thoughts on the first half that you want to share? Because we're wrapping up first half. So you have anything you want to say about first half?
The first half is when Bingham made a beautiful PK save and he saved us.
Is that when he completely? Is that the same half where he completely missed the ball and Perry Kitchen had to save him
No, not yet.
off the
Second
goal
half.
line? Oh,
Second
okay,
half.
then never mind.
Anything for
talking
the
about
first
the
half?
first half?
Honestly, to me, the only good thing was the goal.
Really?
Oh,
Yep,
not the save.
No, defensively, I thought we were solid. Yeah,
It-
Bingham was good too. Defensively, I thought we were solid. Yeah, that hell yeah, like the defense held it down. Well, defensively as
The
a
unit.
whole team, as a unit, as a unit, we were good. Bingham was obviously did a solid for Jonah because that stupid ass tackle that he tried doing there, he knew he fucked up immediately. Like immediately, you
Yep,
saw
we
in his
just talked-
face.
Yep.
Yeah. But no, man, I personally, defensively, yes, solid, great all around defensively. Bingham obviously with the save, but other than that, I mean,
So
defensively with the goal, that's pretty much it. I thought we were.
let me ask
Frankly,
something.
I still thought that they had more chances than we did.
So do I. But let me ask something. What you thought of the way they approached the creativity in this game, or the way they try to attack this game? Nothing. Like it did nothing for you.
No, I mean, I know you apparently you guys saw something in Cuello more than I did. You guys
No,
even
in
said he
Cuello, but yeah.
attempted it. Well, I know, but you
No,
guys
no,
said that.
but
Well,
okay.
again, listen, you guys are asking, right? You guys
Mhm.
said that you guys thought that Cuello attempted. Sure, he may attempt, but how much of it was actually finished product that got where the ball needed to get to? I
But
thought
Well,
that that was
I could
Yeah.
tell
that
you
was
this
weak.
much
but
that
to that,
I could tell you
huh?
this much. This shit is way better than fucking ball thing at the moment.
Any.
I'll take
Well, look,
Cuello all day over ball thing.
I'm not saying that that's false. I'm not saying that's a false statement. My issue is just, if you have someone that's been more competent on the wing with Perry Kitchen, why not play him from the beginning?
You're
But
talking about
anyway,
Pontius. Talking about Pontius.
I mean, sorry, Chris Pontius, yeah.
My shit with that
But
is that is the fact that Cuello actually attempted it and me and Rudy actually agreed with it.
oh shit,
That
somebody got shot. Hold on, my bad. You were saying?
no, the fact that he attempted it made the defense think something else other than they're gonna play down the line and center the ball into the middle. So I think the fact that the attempt was there, even if it didn't meet his mark, it had the defense
Yeah.
thinking other things than just going down the wing and throwing it to the center.
Yeah, put it this way, we saw more creativity in Cuello this game than we did out of anybody last game. You know what I
I
mean?
think anyone coming off on I think a person, me, I'll go on a limb and say anyone coming off the bench to go into the left wing.
Listen, and we'll see what this looks like on Wednesday, right? When Zlatan's back and how we move pieces. And the chat is going wild saying Cuello is trash.
I don't agree.
Listen,
I don't agree at all.
yeah, right.
I agree.
Neither do I.
I think he was serviceable. Everybody seems to forget that fucking turn he did in the first half when he shakes his defender and he puts in a bullshit ass cross, but whatever. And then they forget that fool he got into open position to take shot, and he was putting in through balls. So I don't know
To the
what's up with all
chat
the hate.
and to the chat, like I know that the people listening to the podcast won't hear this, but what did you see from the Jet that made you hate on Cuello so much?
Well, listen, Manny's saying Seba actually played the ball forward. And, and here, I'll say this, right? Maybe so.
See, I don't agree with Mascherano the Cuello over the Jet. Like straight up, you ask me, you know what it is? Emma's just been so poor on that wing that anyone that does anything
No.
better automatically gets seen and highlighted as something
'cause this
like,
game-
wow,
I don't
this
agree.
dude's gonna be great. But
I
no, I
don't
thought
agree.
Cuello was not. If anything, he was okay.
But
Yeah,
this
that's
game,
what I said.
but
He
this
was
game we had
serviceable.
Cuello and Leggett at the same time. And what did you see from Leggett in the first half that you didn't see from Cuello, or vice versa?
But then again, I'm just telling you what with Madame Serrano that he
No, no,
said
no, no,
Cuello
no.
over
Well,
Jet.
I'm asking you
I don't
though.
think that either one was better than the other. I thought they were okay. I don't think that
And
they were good, that they were bad. I mean, they were fine.
but put it this,
Defensively, sure. But I don't think we weren't good offensively at all throughout the entire game. The only real shit that we had was Jonah's goal.
okay.
I
Then
don't
I
think
ask
so
you
either.
how many games has Leggett have to been in that role and compared to Cuello's
This is
20
what his
minutes
first or second game
second
in the
game
wing.
to Cuello's 15 minutes into the game, you saw Cuello actually making these attempts into these passes.
Yeah, you saw the vision on Cuello, which I
Yeah,
haven't seen
so
with
so
almost
no.
anybody.
I don't know.
Yeah, like, listen,
I don't know.
we could
You guys,
we could
I
agree
think
to
you guys
disagree.
honestly taking this a different way because we got the W, but the
No.
reality is this was an
Nah.
ugly win.
Oh
Nah,
no,
nah,
hell
And
no.
well,
nah.
that's what I
'Cause
think because
overall, I
overall
think the
to me,
Galaxy got lucky from this game to actually come out with a W.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, and
I agree
overall
with that.
defensively,
Yeah.
the first half was solid, and that's the only real positive out of it, other than Jonah's goal. Because other than that, I don't
agree.
think we created anything. I
No,
don't
I
think
don't. I don't think
we were
so.
good.
I
How
disagree
many
with
shots
you.
did we even have? Did we even have any other shots on
Fuck
goal?
yeah, we did.
So here's
many?
here's the thing. Like,
Like I don't
I
recall
know.
anything else other than Jonas.
I can find out how many shots we have. What I'm saying is there was something else to this game, right? It wasn't go down the wing and cross like we have been for how many games, right? There was different intention in this game, and there was vision in this game where people tried something that wasn't that could disrupt the defense. It didn't come through, and I can agree with that. It didn't finish off the way it could finish off, but the fact that they're attempting it to me is
And
a
even
plus. And
even the ball movement going forward on in the small spaces in the first half, dog, towards the end. Watch the fucking game all over. Boy, I saw that shit today, and I'm telling you right now, going forward, we look a lot better.
yeah,
At least this game.
Look, Manny just pulled it up. 4 shots, 1 on target. So obviously the only real shot is the Jonah one. So technically I'm not wrong.
you're not right because you said that's the only shot.
Okay. So what were the other ones like?
Listen,
Remind me. I can't even think about one.
doesn't matter. You said there's only one shot and it wasn't. Right. What I'm saying, like, why I liked Cuello this game was because he showed some sort of creativity that we hadn't seen from anybody else, and that's including Corona, that's including Leggett, that's including Emma, that's including you know who I would say has created something that I like is Panias. That's
Question,
including
Angel.
Antuna. That's including everybody else. I haven't seen creativity from them the way I've seen or that I saw from Cuello in that one in the 1 to 3 chances that he created. And that's what I like. That's why I like him. So
Yo, Angel, question. Next game we come out, everyone's healthy. Antuna and Leggett on the wing. Pontius has already been subbed in. Who's your next man up, Emma or Cuello?
For what? Like as
Or wing.
I hope neither, but
I mean,
That's a good question.
if you're asking me, what makes
Yeah.
more sense based on the current squad that we had this past game, or even assuming Zlatan's there, it's easy. You take out you instead of putting any of those two, and you put in Efrain Alvarez instead.
I don't think
That's
so.
what I would go with.
I don't-
No.
I don't-
But not on the wing. You move the other Alvarez to the wing, and then
Why?
you put.
I don't agree with that
Nah,
either.
you're tripping.
Yeah.
You're not moving
I
Alvarez.
think you're
I
wrong.
don't-
Well,
and I
that's
don't
fine.
think-
I could think I'm wrong, but that's how I feel. I
Yeah.
don't think Cuello was good. You guys think he was good?
I don't think. Well, here's so
That's
talking
my
about,
opinion.
I think he's better than what we've had.
yes.
But that's because, and that's what I said a few minutes ago, though. You guys are making Cuello seem like he's this, sure, a little bit of vision, but that's the same shit. The argument I've been making for Chris Pontius is anything is better than Emma Boateng.
But Pontius didn't
that
play.
he did better than Leggett this game.
All right, so let's move on to second half because second half was different, right?
Yeah.
Second half, again, I thought Orlando after we scored, turned it up a notch.
Mhm.
In the second half, they brought in Sasha. And I think his inclusion changes it up even more so. Like he started putting in some balls uh, that pinned us back. They pinned us back a lot. And here's a question I'm asking: how much of that was the Galaxy saying, "Hey, let's fall back and keep this 1-0 lead," or was that Orlando just putting the pressure on us that pinned us back?
I think that's GBS because the first 5-10 minutes, and I was watching through my phone. I actually parked to go to see it. I think GBS said go out there and try to get a quick goal. If it doesn't happen, then play back. And we could talk a little bit more about it. But I think if we would have tied, it would have been all on GBS's shoulders. Because I personally don't agree the fact that you're gonna go out there because in the last 15 minutes of the game, Orlando could have tied or either won this game.
Yeah, they had the chances. So you're saying
Plenty of chances, but and that's because
So
we
why would it be
allowed them.
GBS's fault though?
no,
Because he's the coach. Hold on, because he's the coach
No,
that
yeah,
makes
but
the
why?
tactics.
Like, what did you see? Because I'm not sure what you're talking
Personally,
about right now.
I felt everyone pushed back and kind of just closed off the wall instead of pushing forward. And I think the fact that and we've talked about this in other podcasts, when we push forward, we leave a big gap in between the defense and the midfield. And I think we haven't found that gray area to where we could push forward and still have that protection there. So GBS said instead of actually pushing forward and try to making something happen, let's pull because we have that gray area. Let's pull back and let's try to hold this 1-0. And worst case scenario, we get a 1-1 and we get out of here with 1 point,
hey, Masa,
which I don't agree with.
Masa, how much of that do you give Orlando credit for?
I don't know, dog. They went to a 5-man backline. Like, they just, they just, I don't know. They're good offensively. They have speed. They went to a 5-man backline, and then we made that fucking sub to throw Perry Kitchen in, and at the same time, they brought in Sasha.
Yep.
So that's just kind of a weird situation because they went defensively before, and they were still attacking the shit out of us. I think they just went a little more wide, try to spread us out a little more, and that's why I think we were a little more vulnerable. But I mean, I don't know. It was a weird one because I'm telling you, they went 5-man back, or you could say 3 in the back, and like wing backs.
So here's something that I've seen thrown around on Twitter, and I don't know how much of an excuse it is. You think the humidity had any part to play of this? Like whether because I've been hearing about them being tired.
This is the first game where I see the Galaxy not look tired, to be honest, and it's not an excuse because
It's very accurate.
Because it happens to us every second half all the time, not just in Orlando.
Yeah.
So you can't use that bullshit as excuse. At least not not this past game. And they didn't look tired to me, so I don't know.
Yeah. All right. So
You know what? If it was a humidity, and if they got tired, if that would have been the case, we would have conceded, guaranteed, and we would have lost this game.
Yeah. Maybe
So you think so you think with those factors added, we would have lost this game?
if they would have been.
I think
Yeah.
so.
All right.
Like,
For sure.
I think they would have been too tired, and like they just wouldn't be able to put in the extra, 5% they need to go for a ball, or the extra 3% they need to go, or the extra lunch for whatever it is that they had to do. If you're tired and your body's drained, you can't find that energy to put in the extra they did, especially defensively in that second half.
Yeah,
So
right.
I don't think, I just honestly think it's until, I mean, even then, you guys really think it's a full until 2 halves. I think our first half was just slightly better than our second, but that's my opinion.
Well,
But even then,
I think the biggest difference. I'm sorry. The biggest difference between the first half and the second half is that we had. Orlando had more chances, but we had an answer for that. So they'll attack a couple times, then we'll come back and we'll touch the area, and then they'll come back, and it was back and forth. A second half, Jesus Christ, for like a part of 20 minutes, we didn't get out of our own half, right?
Accurate. You know what? That is very.
So that's why I think it was a two halves. Now let me start pointing fingers at people. I think Fabi Alvarez was kept on 5 to 10 minutes too long, because by the time he got subbed off, he had been walking for at least 5 minutes, if not more, right? Because when I started noticing it, like he was legit walking, not even walking trying to get close to the ball, just walking parallel in a straight line down the middle. You know what I mean? Not really reaching, asking for it, coming closer for it, or looking for a tackle. He's just walking in a straight line back and forth. Now,
Well, I'm gonna call him out on one thing too. Like, I don't know if it was that, because I saw what you saw too, Rudy. But just my man's a little too casual when he has a ball. Like he gets pushed off the ball a little too quick, and then it's like he just throws his hands up. Like make a little more, put a little more effort, use
a
your body a
a
little
little
bit
more
better.
fight,
Like
huh?
I don't know what the fuck. That shit was kind of annoying. Like yo, like do something.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
I don't know.
Y-
Maybe
y-
it was
y-
tired or whatever, but I don't know.
you
I
know
didn't
what
like what I saw. At least in that going forward, that was the shit. But
you know what I think.
I don't know.
You know what I think too is like I think he hasn't he's not there yet. Like his way of playing, right? Because you see a lot of players who are elusive, who have a lot of flair to them.
Uh-huh.
They kind of they're always kind of casual because they they'll move when they feel the pressure, right? I don't think he's got that sense yet for the MLS, and that's why he's kind of when he reacts is a little too late and he gets pushed off the ball. But even without that being said, my only complaint really is the fact that he was kept on for 5 to 10 minutes too late because he was already walking at that point. Uh, and we weren't really having the ball. And I think if we don't have the ball, Fabi's gonna have a problem, right? Because he wants to have possession, turn and go. So we don't have the ball there. Now let's talk about Bingham. I'm gonna give you your chance here, Angel.
Damn, you wanted this, huh?
I'm gonna give you a chance here, Angel. Let's talk about Bingham in the second half.
Listen,
Hold on,
this is
let me set it up, and then
okay. Fine,
I'm gonna let you run
fine. Go
with it. All
for it.
right.
Go for it.
In the second half, he had done a bunch of saves in the first half. He had a few saves in the second half. All all of them, he got himself out of trouble, and I was cool with everything he had done. Sasha puts in a cross that was that seemed very manageable. That seemed super manageable, and not to punch out, but to grab and just kind of slow the game down again. Right? He comes out assertive, and then when he sees present somebody else, he kind of shrinks and misses the ball completely. It bounces off of Orlando because I don't think there was even a chance like they took. It just kind of bounced, and it was bouncing inside the area. Big Kevin cleared off the line with everything good he had done. If that goes in, that changes the game for me a lot, in my opinion, for Bingham. Angel,
So first thing,
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Dos Santos, and this is the human centipede that we were talking about
oh,
on Sunday. Jonathan Dos Santos owes um, David Bingham
Big
everything
Bingham,
in the whole wide world. Big Bingham on that one, yeah. But David Bingham owes everything in the world to Perry Kitchen
yeah,
because of that. So now in retrospect, Eddie, if you're listening, now that I think about it, David Bingham will be the middle of the human centipede. The other guys would be, based on what we just said. You know what though? Take that out of the equation. Yeah, big kudos to Perry Kitchen for backing up his teammate. Big kudos to David Bingham for backing up his teammate, right? And Jonah's big as fuck up. I give David Bingham so much shit, and I think that you guys are still overly hyped over him. Think that you give him too much credit than what he really is. However, this is what I had considered as an earned 3 point or point period in the criteria that I was gonna present. Right? If you would have listened instead of bringing your own criteria,
uh huh,
it's a game where we've scored early,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's a game we should have lost. George said it earlier. Like realistically, we probably should have lost this game based on stats and shots taken and even the eyeball test. We came out of there with a draw. David Bingham won us this game, and this to me is probably maybe second, third game that I
okay.
think that he's really earned us a point. That it's his point. Like this is his doing. So, listen, I'm gonna give him big time this game. Even take the Perry Kitchen shit out of the equation because
Yo,
Perry Kitchen backed him up. But that's what the whole purpose of having teammates and being alert, right, and having those defensive minded players to be out there and support your goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He kept the team in at that point. We were bombarded all over the place. Not all over the place, but at least in that second half, it felt
Oh, it
like it
did
to
for
me.
sure.
It felt like it to me.
yeah.
So at the end of the day, 1-0. A lot of it is because of David Bingham. We scored early up in the game where he was gonna be presented with these opportunities where he had to come up for his team, and that's why this was probably the only one of the few times I would give
Yo, real
David Bingham a
shit.
point. Yeah.
This is Angel doing like a PR fucking speech. And
He's trying.
honestly, this is what he really wants to sound like. When I saw Bingham do everything perfectly, I was like, this bitch is thinking about anything and anything possible to not give
Discredit
his
him?
man credit.
Yeah, for
Yo,
sure.
How am
he
I
brought up
discrediting him though?
No, he
Rondo
didn't.
talking about, oh, he's a bitch. I'm never gonna give him things. I'm never
I'm
gonna.
not. No, fuck him. Today, like fuck
Oh, here
David
it is.
Bingham.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, I already said it. Like
Oh
until you
man.
stop being Wondolowski's bitch, I can't
Uh-huh.
fuck with you.
Listen,
Uh-huh.
And I'm until he does something in SJ, which is gonna be later on this month. It is. That's how I feel about it. Fuck him.
uh, who scored gave him a 9.3, and I
Pedro
think
gave him a 1.7. The only reason he got him a point was because of the
the
penalty.
penalty.
That's accurate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I think I mean I agree with it, right? Because Kevin saved his ass, he, he was outstanding. But again, if they score off of that play, that would have been all Bingham. You know what I mean? Glad for Kevin because Kevin backed him up for sure. But that one. I was like, shit. Like how you have a dope ass game and then do that, right? But it is what
But
it
see,
is.
that he does that. He's been doing that throughout the course of his career.
Not this year though.
His moment. No, this year he's been fine.
Not this year.
But like the
Like
course of career, he has
Yeah.
moments like this, and this is where shit gets highlighted, and that's why I'm saying he's not.
listen, he's been
What if
he's been
Bingham
enough.
scores on San Jose?
Listen, if Bingham scores on San Jose, I will buy a Bingham jersey. I will
You already
offer.
owns a Steelers jersey.
I will offer to wash his car for a whole week. I will apologize in public, which would be straight from the stand. So to all 10 of our listeners.
27.
And then what else? I don't know. You guys can come up with one thing, but he's not gonna score, so it's okay.
All right. So we sneak away with 3 points. We're back to third place in the West, and now everything changes because now we go to KC. But let me pump the brakes real quick. I know it's gonna come up, so let's talk about fools. Do we have any fools of the week?
GBS.
No, fuck you.
Why not? His
Why?
tactic was to fucking go out there and defend in the second half.
And we got a
Whoever
1-0
does
win.
huh?
And we got a 1-0 win.
Dog, but the fact that listen, we scratched out a 1-0 win.
We got a 1-0 win.
We scratched out a 1-0.
We got a 1-0 win.
Tactically, we could have won 2-0, 3-0.
We got a 1-0
We
win.
should have won.
We
should've
won. No,
No,
we should have
okay.
lost.
With the tactics.
No, we
that
should have.
GBS
We should have
gave us.
scored more though. I don't know. I think we
you're
created
wrong.
enough chances.
think you're wrong.
Y'all forget about that Cuello shot. You guys forget about the one that Jet skied. Like what the fuck? It's not like the chances weren't there. That's not on GBS.
You guys are bugging,
That's on
right?
the fucking players who can't finish.
So listen, Bruce and Shiggy went to Orlando and they couldn't get a win. Right?
I'm not
We
saying-
we hadn't gotten a
That's
win
yours.
there. We hadn't gotten a win there. We hadn't gotten a win in 4 games. We didn't have Zlatan. We don't have Alessandrini. And we go to Orlando, we win 1-0 game, and we get the foot a week to GBS. I mean,
Nah, that's not me. That's
it's Georgia's take,
Nah.
and it is what it is. But
It sounds dumb to me.
you wildin'. Anybody got a fool of the week? 'Cause I personally don't have a fool of the week. The boy Skype.
Ronaldinho says that
Yeah, I got one.
Angel's full of the week.
No, I think we all agree that you are.
No,
Straight up though.
be clear that who's you?
Huh?
Who's you? Not me or Ronaldinho.
No, that Ronaldinho is the fool of the week. You know, all that bullshit. Yeah. Nah, serious shit. You know who the fool of the week is to me? Emma Boateng for not getting back to Maryland.
you probably
Yeah.
scared.
Yep, for not getting back to Maryland. Yeah.
Oh, hey, we got questions a little bit. Relax.
There you go, Matt Serrano. Exactly. Yep.
All right. Any last remarks on this game?
Yeah, I want to hear you talk shit about Shelvick and Felcher again.
Well,
Please.
let's talk about them.
Well,
Fuck
I
Rob
was gonna say I think defensively we were good, man. We were really good. We looked really good. I mean, we had to handle all those. I mean, like you guys said, right? Apparently, the second half we did get bombarded. I remembered it that way, but you guys confirmed it. So, kudos to Bingham, kudos to the entire defense for finding a way to, and not just that defense, but the team as a whole defensively finding a way to come out of there with a win. Because I mean, it wasn't pretty, but sometimes you just got to find ways to win.
Especially on the road.
Especially on the road. That kind of makes up for one of the 2 losses at home. So now we got to get one more away win to kind of make up for those 2 home losses that we gave up.
Yep.
Ideally, you want to at least aim to tie right away from home and win all the home games.
Mm-hmm.
Question,
So,
Masa. Before this game, how many good games has Rolf had?
Most of them.
Yeah.
I think you're biased. I think you're
I'm
biased when it
not.
comes to that.
What the fuck? How?
I don't see where Felster has been bad defensively.
All season.
I legit
Overall,
don't see.
not
Overall.
defensively. Overall.
But his
job is a
job is to
defender.
be a defender.
But even going forward, I like him.
Not
Though.
in GBS's style though.
But even going forward, I like him.
Well, wasn't
What?
Didn't
Go
we score
forward, like
because of
him.
him?
Hold on. Time out. Rudy,
Didn't we
going
score because of
forward,
him?
you like
Didn't
him?
he? Wasn't he the one that drove up and put in that low ball cross?
That was
On
him.
this game?
On a bad clearance from a defender?
But-
Wasn't it
but-
him
That's
that
you guys-
created
Listen,
that opportunity, that low cross?
He's looking for
set
that.
up.
Yeah.
if that's the case, then the Jets also already scored, so let's leave him on the lineup then.
Listen, you're bugging, right? What he did the whole game was
Right?
drive in
No, no,
and diagonal.
If your guys' thing is that, well, he passed the ball to score the goal, let Jets also pass the ball to score a goal, and he scored a goal.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's put him in the lineup.
Listen, who else but Leggett? Who for Leggett right now?
And my argument is who else but Rolf? Araujo.
But even
But
if
he's not
that's
even here though
even
right
if
now,
that
right?
is your
And
argument,
no.
even if even if that was your argument, and yeah, you know what, we all agreed, you know what, yes, Felster's been shit, blah blah blah. He's with the national team.
Okay, but moving forward, I don't see Rolf. Honestly, this is his time. This is his year. And if this is a year that you need to prove something to a coach, you're not proving shit to me.
Good thing you're not the
Straight
coach.
up, you sound like all the people that
Yeah.
hate on Shelvick too.
No.
Listen,
I hate on Bigham because it's a personal thing. It's a personal thing. But he's been fine.
No.
It's a personal thing. But you
need to understand the tactics that we're playing with GBS's style.
And he's doing
We're
right.
playing for the-
Fuck,
He
but this
pushes-
past game, our tactic was to
pushes up.
defend.
Listen.
doing it right.
He's
The fact
pushing
that
up. He's
you say
pushing
that
up.
doing it right,
He's pushing up, and when the Zlatan is there, he's
and he's
crossing
centering
the
the ball to the other to the corner flag on the other side.
Did you not forget who gave Zubac that ball? Low driven cross. He choked right in front of goal. Was that
Okay.
not Rolf Felcher?
One game.
Does not Rolf Felcher have 2 assists
One.
this season?
How many games do we have in the season?
Who has more assists than that?
Daniel Steres
The
also has how
defensive-
many goals in the season. So are you gonna go up there and say that Daniel Steres should be exactly? Exactly.
Hold on, I can make an argument for that. The last game against Colorado, we should have put him as a forward with all those crosses that we're doing. So, you know.
It's bullshit. You'd be like, Rolf Felcher has
How?
2 assists.
Listen.
Daniel
How?
Steres is also
Yeah.
second leading scorer.
And he scored on set
and-
pieces, and he scored set pieces as he should, because that's when he goes up and attack. Come on. Listen,
And
because we're not.
Rolf Felcher.
Okay,
where
listen.
Rolf
If we had more
All right,
finishing,
can we move on?
No, hold on.
Can
If we had more
we just move
finishing,
on?
if we had more finishing, Felcher would have more assists, right? Felcher understands GBS's tactics, and he pushes up, and he's defending well.
He's not technically. He can't technically finish to what
Okay,
GBS.
cool. Araujo, who was your argument, is not better than Felcher.
We'll agree to disagree.
All right. Quick turnaround for us. We'll be back on the road against
Must
KC
be
on
on that English
Wednesday.
diet.
Nah, fuck that. I eat carbs. I ain't on that bitch shit.
So we play KC on Wednesday, away, but Big Daddy Zlatan is back. Nobody submitted lineups, but let's talk about lineups. What are we thinking the lineup is gonna look like for the game on Wednesday versus KC?
I think the defense, if Polenta's still out, I think the defense stays intact. Jurgen, People, Steres, and Rolf on the right. As far as defense concerned, should I say everything moving forward, or is that you
So
want to get
anybody got different ideas for defense?
No, it should stay the same.
I was gonna say the same because what's his face not even gonna be there.
People.
Not gonna, I mean, no,
Polenta. Sorry, Polenta. You're right.
So it's gonna be the same exact thing in the back, and most likely, well, it's not most likely. It's for sure Araujo's not gonna be back either because they play on Thursday. So, that's the same exact lineup in the back.
All right. What about the midfield? What are we doing with the midfield? Or are we doing? Hold on. Before you tell me that, are we doing 4-3-3 or are we doing this 4-1-1? What are you guys thinking with Zlatan back? What do we think?
I think 4-1-1. Hopefully 4-1-1.
No, we're playing 4-3-3.
Oof, I'm with George. I think it's gonna be 4-1-1.
But Massa
Where
gets mad when you go
where
against what he
where
says. What?
so you're thinking Fabio stays as almost like the false
At
nine.
Cam.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
he
think it's a
should.
little, no, I think it's a little higher than a Cam, right? Because I think he has no defensive responsibilities
I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 4-4-2.
with them stacked.
Yeah, but we played a 4-4-2 with Alvarez up top, and eventually he dropped down into that cam position. So we play 4-4-2. I
There you
think
go.
it's still gonna be one of those things where
Shout out to Madam Serrano. 4-1-3-2. That's what we're playing. That's what we're playing. 4-1-3-2.
All right,
it would
Oh,
be the
we've
one.
been playing all season. Jonathan holding.
but we haven't. No, I don't think that's how we've been playing.
See, but Jonathan hasn't been playing holding. Jonathan's been playing box to
If
box.
that's the case, then he wouldn't have scored the goal in the last game because he was the one that was in the second half and he pushed the ball to the side. So that's wrong.
Yeah, so
Mm.
yeah. All right, so here, let's talk midfield. What do we see in the midfield?
You see the triangle
Yeah,
with
I don't think. Yeah.
Jonna Corona and then Fabio as Cam.
Yep.
Okay, and then
And
okay,
you got Antuna on the left, and then you got Leggett on the right, and then you got Zlatan up top.
I agree with Massa.
what do you think, Angel?
Did
That's
he
what
say
I'm
four
gonna
three
see.
three on Massa?
To me, that's 4-3-3. I got
Yeah, that is
three
4-3-3.
midfielders and
Two wingers and a
three
striker.
attackers. Yeah, that's 4-3-3 to
Mm-hmm.
me.
That is
I don't
4-3-3.
know.
Okay. All right.
What do you think, Angel?
Same.
Yeah.
I don't see. I mean, well, I'm not gonna say I don't see right because UBS has surprised us starting Emma a few times when he shouldn't have. But I'm gonna say it's the same thing that you guys called, and it's. I mean, you ask it right. I don't know what your opinion is, Rudy, but I think it's a no-brainer.
With just as Massa called it,
Look,
Jonah.
whatever the formation is gonna be, but point is, this is gonna be those players in those positions.
Interesting. You know what? The only thing I'm not convinced of is Leggett out wide. That's
What
no
would you do?
I don't really know, right? So I was trying to think before I said it, but the only thing that doesn't convince me is Leggett out wide. Just because I think with him out wide, we lose width, right? Because he's always gonna. It's like a Alessandrini. I think he's a little worse case than Alessandrini because he's always gonna be attracted to coming back in the middle. So that's my only concern. But given our roster, that might be our that might be the way we come out because that's probably the best 11 available, right? I
I
don't.
agree.
Yeah.
It's just one of those, yeah, where you just have to play the best 11 up, and I think as of right now, Leggett is still a name that you have to play. We'll see. Honestly, I'm interested to see how the Gold Cup treats him if he goes into the World Cup, and I think GBS is going to get a lot of bit. He's going to get a little bit more insight on what he should do when that happens.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. And we could talk about that at a different time. But let's talk about KC. So KC's coming in with they beat they just beat Seattle
Seattle.
Sounders.
Yeah, they beat
I'm
Seattle
reading that
three
right.
two at home.
Okay,
Yep.
so they have
They
At
just
one.
played
home,
over there.
Yeah. They have one victory in the
SKC
last
was at home. Yeah.
one victory in the last six matches. They lost versus San Jose. They drew to New England Revolution 4-4, where the Revs had two yellow red cards. They lost to Atlanta 3-0. They lost to DC 1-0. They drew against the Whitecaps 1-1, and they won this past weekend versus Seattle, as we were talking about.
What day did they play?
They
They
played.
played on Sunday.
They play Sunday. Wow. Okay, so they're coming in a real short week. Um, Not a good team, and you know what? I'm not sure where their roster stands right now, but I know a couple
I
weeks
know they're
back.
missing a couple players.
Well, a couple
They're
weeks
gonna
back
be
they were
missing
missing.
players.
A couple weeks back they were missing like 7, 8 players, right? So I don't know how many of them they ended up recouping already, but they're still going through their injury woes right now. What are we thinking, guys? What are we thinking about this game? How are you guys feeling? What do you think we need to do? Uh, yeah, just give it to me. What's up?
Look, just
fuck
from
everything that we just did this last game. Slatan ball, make this motherfucker score. Let's go score 4 out of there and let's get out of there.
Oh man! All right, Angel.
if what I'm looking at is correct, Roger Espinosa is supposedly not playing. Ronnie Wallace is supposedly not playing. I don't know if they haven't been there or not for a while, but I'm just looking at this. I don't even know who Jaden Lindsay is. Oh, Jalen Lindsay. Who else is missing? Eric Hurtado, and then potentials will not play include Graham Susie and just like four other cats.
Yeah, they're missing like everybody.
Yeah, so
Bessler supposedly left hurt that game as well.
yeah, well he
So
did. He did
at
leave
that chat,
hurt that game. I did see that. Yeah, he did leave hurt, but I don't know if it was I mean, it didn't look serious. It looked more precautionary to
especially
me.
playing
Yeah.
2 days back, right?
But I mean, I wish I knew what to tell you. I mean, they just beat Seattle. I saw the game. I thought Seattle probably should have won, but we said the same thing about Orlando. Probably should have beat us, but the result's the result. You know, SKC found a way to win at home. They were winning. They started winning the game, and they essentially led the entire game. But you know, they what is it? Seattle did have quite a few opportunities to put, you know, to tie and even win that game.
They didn't
That
take
game
'em.
could have probably had maybe about 8 goals total. But you ask me, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what SKC is gonna come out. I don't know what Galaxy is gonna come out with Zlatan. But I'm
Well,
gonna
not care.
go. I mean, are we?
No predictions.
No predictions
No
yet.
predictions yet.
Okay.
No predictions
You
yet.
know what? I'm gonna leave it at that. I really don't know
Don't
what to
know.
tell you guys. I mean, first of all, it's a midweek game, right? Midweek games are even more unpredictable than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are gonna have the big man back up top, right after 2 games.
Fully rested.
SKC did, yeah, fully rested. SKC did just win the game away from home. Um, you know, there's all these things that are going into this game. You know, they're supposed to be having a bunch of players injured, but look, we were supposed to go beat the shit out of New York Red Bulls, and look at what happened, right? So I'm not gonna go with the fact that they're missing all these players. You know, be a big motivator in my decision about what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm gonna be very cautious about what I say, just because you know we felt really confident with New York Red Bulls, and we felt confident with Colorado, and look at the outcome.
Yes.
So
Listen, one of the
you know.
one of the rants I had, one of the rants I had this week was weekend on Friday was, how the fuck am I supposed to do a podcast when this team
You
is
said
so
that shit
fucking
live over there.
this team is so fucking unpredictable, so hard to fucking judge, and they're so fucking temperamental. Like they'll come out and do some good shit, and they come out and do some horrible shit. Like I don't know
Yo,
what the
real
fuck to
shit. We're doing a podcast on Angel.
say.
The Galaxy or
Right?
Angel. You don't know
Angel-
how the fuck to talk about my man.
All right, Masa George, what do you guys think?
We fucking-
honestly, yeah, Masa, go ahead.
I said we fucking.
Oh, we
That's all you
fucking.
need to know.
Honestly, I hope that we did a little bit what Koyo was doing, and then just big up to Rolf. I hope that he plays an amazing game like he played last game and does amazing crosses, and then we could win.
Listen, it's an interesting matchup because KC, with all their injuries, have not been the KC of old, so they haven't been able to put their possession game as we're used to seeing KC, right? Because KC, one thing we knew about them is they're going to hold the ball, they're going to pass to death until they find a chance to create something. I don't think they've been able to do that because they've just been injured and they've been depleted because all the players they do have in form are playing every single game without break.
Yep.
Right? The Galaxy are trying to find out who the fuck they are under GBS with Zlatan on top, with the roster they have, right? So again, it's another team that, listen, if you asked us, what was it, a month and a half ago when we were in a hot streak, this conversation would have been a lot different than it is today, right? We have 4 games that kind of put us back into place and kind of made us think of a little bit more about this team and the depth in this team and the players that we have in this team right now. So this game is gonna be odd. What I'll say is I think if you're gonna beat KC at home, right now is the time to do it. They're a team with way too many injuries that they can't get rhythm. So let's take it to them. And I think we keep it simple and we play a shit ton of crosses. You know what I mean?
I think the key to the crosses is being you know the word I'm talking about, just mixing it up basically. I think that's what helps us and that's what opens up that defense.
I don't listen. I don't. Yes, right. Like I think that'll make it easier. I think that'll definitely make it easier. But Zlatan being well rested, I'm hoping he's challenging every single cross, right? So even if we just do decent crossing, let that man get into 1 or 2 of them, right? I think Masa's been saying it, Angel's been saying it defensively.
we keep our own most of the time. So we just gotta put in. We gotta put in a goal or two. You know what I mean? I think that's what we have to do.
Fuck it. Yeah, that's fine. Go.
What the fuck were you gonna say?
Yeah, for real.
You had
The
like
fuck?
little light bulb. You were about to say that roll filter sucks, huh? I got you.
Nah,
Bessie. No,
not
no,
at
no. Just
all.
go. Listen. Don't even say anything. He was gonna say that. Yeah. He
All
was
right.
gonna back me up. Predictions?
I guess so. We get nobody else. Nothing else to say on KC.
Angel.
Quick question: Johnny Russell playing?
Yeah, I think
Yes,
so.
he's supposed to be playing. Yeah.
That's the only fool I'm worried about, to be honest.
There it is.
You think it hurt the defense?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, but
You know-
he always has, so I wouldn't be surprised.
That's funny because that's what we said about Darwin Quintero when we are gonna play Minnesota both times. We won one, we tied the other. We talked about Colorado in a way that they could find a way to score, but it was not in that same positivity or not same positivity, but the same concern that we had for Quintero. We complete extremes, right? And right now you brought up Russell, so I could maybe even see this like, hey, we're overly thinking, SKC, but then we think Colorado, maybe we're not, right? So
Yeah,
fuck,
man, I'm
man.
telling you, it's hard to fucking. It's hard to predict.
I give up. I give up in this. Like, fuck this.
It's hard. It's hard to predict, man, because like we don't look the same week in week out, and then it's a Wednesday game. It's hard. The good thing is we at least played Friday, right?
Well,
So-
another good thing, right? This is the first time that we're gonna see Fabio Alvarez actually play with Zlatan, right? And
Yeah.
from what we've
Yeah,
seen,
yeah.
you guys I think it may have been George who mentioned it earlier in the podcast where Fabio Alvarez he should have been taken out like 5 or 10 minutes earlier in the game when he was, because at that point we were playing too defensively. He was not seeing the ball, and he doesn't look to be the type of player that's going to drop back to try and win balls,
Mhm.
right? And Zlatan seems to be that type of player. So when you have two of those guys, where even if we're getting some pressure, you give an outlet to one of them, right? You already expect that the other one's going to be there,
Yeah.
and at that
Yeah.
point you can really think of something, some type of counterattack or maybe a moment of brilliance from one of the two. So with both of them up top, I mean, I hope we see something different, in terms of the attack, with both of them. Because he looks to, at least he looks to be, good in the ball. He looks to be competent with his feet. He looks to, to try and do things.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think Zlatan's going to be comfortable playing with him.
And then Zlatan also. Okay, I think Zlatan's gonna be able to read what he's gonna do, or at least open up a space for him to find him a lot easier than we're asking Antuna and whoever else was making the runs. All right, cool. Let's get into predictions.
Got it.
Who's
Are
going
we doing
first?
shit from the fans?
Yeah.
All right, fool. Angel, you're first. I have you on my list.
A word?
All right. 0-3, Kansas City. Fuck you then.
For real? Angel?
Masa,
Oh,
you're next.
shit. I thought you were asking my predictions already.
Masa, you're next.
We lose 1-0.
Yeah, for real? You calling a loss?
Calling a loss. I'm going to stick to what I called last week and, a
Number
loss.
one?
I'm thinking
You called
if I say a
0-3.
certain thing, it'll be the opposite.
Okay.
Masa.
I got 2-0 Galaxy.
Galaxy win, huh?
Yeah. Zlatan scores 2.
Interesting.
Rudy, I have you next.
I'm going for a 2-2 draw.
Ooh, shit.
I'm going for a 2-2 draw with
Uh-huh.
with Antuna and Zlatan. Yeah, that's what I'm going.
Nice. I go with the 2-0 win, and I have the same people scoring, Antuna and Zlatan.
It's tight. Listen, we score or result wise, we all have the same thing that we did last week when we were talking about Orlando. So maybe it's a trend, and we get another victory at home.
You
I mean,
had
away.
you had a tie. Me and
Oh,
Masa
well.
had a win, and Angel had a loss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
just stick to it.
so maybe this is a thing. Maybe we find a thing how we make them
I'll
win.
post this up
We'll
on the-
find
on
out.
the
We'll
live
find
chat.
out. We'll find out after Wednesday.
Yeah. Right. All right. Cool. Anything else before we go into straight from the fans?
Fabio gets like 3 mags this next game.
Can't believe it's not butter.
Fabio. Yeah, he does get 3 megs of Roll Felcher this game.
All
David being a Mongol.
right, guys.
All right, let's do this.
Let's get into the question.
You know what I mean? We're still fucking up big, bro.
I think the scores are going to be 2-0 Galaxy.
I mean, we did better than I expected.
Fuck San Jose.
Fuck Levels FC. Fucking G's are gonna be coming on top, right?
All right. What we got, George?
All right. So it was gonna be a long episode, so I posted it kind of late, hoping that we get little questions, but we did. Most of them are for Angel. So Angel, I hope you're ready for this shit. Don859 from IG, is Angel going to keep hating on Big Bingham?
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
I already said it. Pop Mondolowski, or at least do something great against San Jose, and now let it slide.
All right, for sure. All right. Ruben Yescas responds. The next game, is Zlatan alone on top, or is Fabio next to him? I think we
talked
kind of
about
touched
it.
on it. I think for the most part, if he's next to him, it's still going to be a thing where Zlatan's going to be on top and Fabio's going to be behind him, right?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's the other way around, because we have seen Zlatan drift back a little bit into a little bit more central, trying to recover balls before when he gets frustrated. Now, the difference is that he's probably going to have someone else in the attack with him, assuming it's Fabio, right? So it might be different to me what George said. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if it's the other way around, where they say, hey, you know what, let me drop back a little bit and you stay up top because, you're, quote unquote, younger and you have more legs and you can run more and blah, 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 right? So I can potentially see that happening.
Cool.
Yeah.
Rudy? No?
No,
Anything to add?
No, I think you got
it. Eddie from Nag News. Shout out Eddie. Is Brian on his way? Angel, do you wanna talk about this?
I do.
No? Thank
I
you,
do.
appreciate
I want to start off by saying that I've officially broken up with Brian Lowes from Nag News. He's dead to me. I do not love him anymore.
appreciate that.
Like I have everything, all of my life belongs to you, Eddie. Eddie from Nag News. Top notch coach, Pep Guardiola as fuck.
Yeah.
And shout out to my homie George for showing up to play.
Jonah Dos Santos is fuck.
Yeah.
Hell
No, you're more like Perry Kitchen. He had a good game. You had a good game.
Cool. That sounds dope. You're Big Bingham, and I'll save you.
No. Nah, this score.
Hey, Brian, fuck you.
I call the cops on Brian.
All that shit. All right. Not really a question, but a shout out. And Rudy, I think you want to do on this. Real integrative pin. Shout out
yeah.
that he's he or she. I never met him.
He
Abraham.
Is really really happy to listen to our podcast, and we have mad love. So Rudy.
Yeah, no, for sure. Listen. I ended up catching up with Abraham at Beer Garden on Friday. Chill for him a minute.
How you get the nice pins? What the fuck? I left too early.
Yeah, you did. It was dope. My man is we have a straight from the fans interview. That's gonna be in the works. Hopefully coming out tomorrow. So yeah. Shout out to him, man. I love your pins. On right now.
All right.
I gave him a shout out first.
Shout out to Eddie too. That says that I'm the real number 16 because I wore Brian's number that day and I showed him how to play in that number.
I agree.
Next question, Romulandinho. Are Boateng and Maryland engaged yet? Angel, can you confirm or deny this?
I can confirm that Emma is scared to lay it on Maryland. I don't think he can handle. I'm starting to think that Emma might be like a 10-second man, and when push comes to shove, he's really afraid.
She used the eggplant. She used the eggplant emoji. He's got a little shook, and he's like, "Oh damn!"
He's
you know what I mean? Like,
playing. She's not playing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Eleazar House. Shout out to Eleazar House.
For sure.
Ask, on a scale of 1 to Angel, how do you guys feel about Bingham?
Listen,
man.
David Bingham is ugly as fuck. I'm cute as shit. So where's the what type of comparison are we doing here?
He beat you on height, so let's talk about that. Yo, my man.
So does Matumbo.
He has money.
Still ugly.
All right,
Listen.
man. Bingham right now. One of the three
Should be
pillars.
saying thank you to Perry Kitchen.
One of the
Has
three
Bingham made team of the week yet?
this week on the bench.
He's on the
He
bench.
should. He should.
He's on the bench this week. But listen, I think Bingham right now is one of the three pillars of our team. All right, so
All right, for sure. And last but not least, our always faithful and always lovely Charlie Arevalo. Is it time to bench Legend? And do you think he would wake up from and you think that would be a wake up call for him to get in better form? And do y'all really think he makes a Gold Cup? Ross?
You know what? Can I answer this? If if we had Alessandrini, Leggett would already be benched because apparently GBS sees something, and this is my opinion. I personally think that Leggett paired with Jonah in that true midfielder role is better than Joe
Corona.
Benny with Jonah. But listen, I'm not the coach. I've had a few questions about GBS over the last 3-4 weeks and episodes about some of his decisions. This is one of them, but I don't. With that being said, I don't think that Joe Benny Corona is hurting us, right? So it does not bugging
Fair.
me. It's not bugging me. It's not bugging me,
Fair.
right? Because Jonah's being a beast, right? So whatever Joe Benny says, whatever bad moments he has, they're being recovered. So that's not a concern to me right now. That's not something I want to get deep into. But with what we see now and what we know now, obviously GBS likes that pairing better than with Leggett.
Yeah.
That being said, if Alessandrini would have still been healthy, if he'd still be in our squad, Leggett would be benched. Now the problem is you can't bench Leggett right now because there's no one better than him in our bench right now, and that's where the problem is.
So everything Angel said, we can't because we don't have the personnel for him. So he stays playing. He stays in the starting
Listen,
lineup.
I agree with all that.
Make Gold Cup roster.
I agree with that too, but we've seen GBS go younger in situations where younger doesn't really make sense, but he gives them the chance, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Leggett on the bench and Cuello start on the right sooner rather than later, because Didi started over a year again. That really didn't needed a substitution at all. Maybe because of tired legs, but it is what it is. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens.
I'm all for seeing it.
Yeah.
But then if it happens and Cuello it's obvious it's that there's a big drop down. I don't want to hear anybody bitching the same way that people were bitching about Shelvik. When Shelvik came, it was apparent again. And you know what? I saw someone again on Twitter earlier today, or I don't remember if it was earlier today or yesterday, about Shelvik. I'm like, what? What game are you watching? Like they're saying that something about that he should be something that they should be playing in an AYSO team, and that someone should walk over to his dad to slap Shelvik's dad. True story. I'm gonna look for this, and I'm gonna tag you on you guys if I find it. Yeah, somehow about that Shelvik should be playing in AYSO, and that's parents from the other team should walk over and slap Shelvik's dad for letting him play or some shit like that. But yeah, it was like, come on, are you watching these games?
Listen, some people get blinded by hate.
Yeah, I don't
At least own up to it though. At least own up to it though.
Yeah, that's
You
Yeah.
At least own up to it.
All right. Anything else, George?
No, that was it. Shout
Cool.
out to everyone that last minute put in work. I appreciate y'all.
Angel, do you have any ACB plugs for this episode? Because we're also doing the tailgate for.
Yeah, well,
Next game.
it's gonna be double. I'm gonna keep saying it just so you guys don't forget. So obviously, we do have a home game on Sunday, 7:30 against New England Rebs. It is Pride Night. So head over to your local dollar store, get every single streamer that you can find. I don't care what color it is, whether it's in the rainbow or not. Again, we're inclusive here. We don't discriminate against any type of colors. So you bring it all. You bring everything. And then same day, you get to the tailgate early, pick up your Pride T-shirts, and I believe like the first 10,000 people or something like that might be getting something from Galaxy. And I think that they're also doing like this fanny pack giveaway, or I don't remember if it's a giveaway, or I think if you buy tickets, you're eligible for a fanny pack. I don't know. For that, head over to the Galaxy's socials and look for that there. That's something they're doing. But on our end, streamers and Pride shirt, pick it up at the
Angel.
tailgate.
Listen, shout out to.
those- Huh?
Oh, sorry. Shout out to what is it, Jinga or Ginga? The people doing the shirts. Cause I saw that.
Oh yeah.
I saw the production work on it. Man, those are looking fire. So the shorts is gonna be dope.
Angel,
Yep.
question about the shirts. Are the pre-orders done?
Yeah, done.
They're done. So if you guys heard this, pre-orders are done. If you guys slept on them, then you slept on them. Can't confirm or deny. They'll never make those ever again. They're going to be like a $800 resale.
Hey,
Oh, we forgot to put our jingle.
shout out to Eddie. He's going in to work at 3 a.m. He's still with us. And just to answer your question, it's AEW for sure.
Also another
Eddie,
thing.
real quick, Eddie, I am not coming out of retirement, dog. That's it.
No, you shouldn't. The last game that I saw, you should stay in retirement.
Another thing, San Jose update. I'll try and give you guys an update. Next episode on most likely Wednesday or Thursday, whenever we do the pregame for the weekend game against the Revs. Hopefully, I'll have the numbers for you guys then in terms of bus seats. But I can tell you that they're almost sold out. from at least from what I've seen. But the big Tony does the numbers on stuff, so I'll check with him tomorrow
Big Tony.
to see where we're at. Yeah,
He's
the love
like
of my life.
5'4".
He's like an inch taller than me, so he's like 5'6".
Well, big to you.
Well,
You
yeah,
should
because I'm
say
five
big to
five.
me,
He's
Tony.
5'4". All right, yeah. And then the other thing that I want to hit you guys with, I'm gonna keep repeating this over and over and over again for a while. It's gonna become like a broken record, but so you guys don't forget, September 15th. I know it's a ways out from now, but if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time in professional sports that they're doing a Central American Heritage Night. Galaxy's basically gonna be putting together, and we're gonna put together a pretty big tailgate with our friends over at the AFJA organization again. So, Cheesy, if you're listening, September 15th, Michi Guy is gonna be back.
Hell yeah.
Un vergo de
Michi guy.
pupusas, un vergo de chuchitos.
And we're also working.
Garnachas.
Yeah, we're also working with well, not I'm working with AFJA obviously, but they're kind of putting a lot of this together. So I know they're trying to get this company, well, this restaurant called La Pupusa together, just makes apparently these giant ass pizzas that look like, I mean, pizza pupusas. I don't know if
Oh,
you guys have seen them
yeah. Seen them
on
on
socials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Special
Shit,
invite.
but yeah, we're also gonna have that the Volkswagen buggy there again that we had the other day, and then potentially a few other things. I know we're also looking into potentially having a live cumbia band for at least an hour or two, and maybe potentially a marimba band too. So we're trying to do.
Verga.
Sonora Dinamita.
Y el grupo
yeah,
Rana.
yeah, so we're trying to do a couple of things for that. It is
On
a Sunday.
Mexican Independence Day.
Actually, that in case you didn't know, September 15 that's Central American Independence Day. So
Stupid ass Eddie.
stupid ass. On top of that, because it's White Mike also mentioned Tifo for that night. I haven't connected with Jeannie yet, who's kind of our go-to person for tifos, but the after guys expressed that they do want to get a tifo going. Something that represents the Central Americans that we've had in our club in the past. And have essentially have laid the groundwork for what a club is today. So we might be doing something in collaboration with them for that. So if we get that going, we would appreciate help, with a TIFA like that. But as you guys are aware, we mentioned last episode, we already have 2 back-to-back TIFAs that we're gonna do. Obviously it's gonna be against. Yeah, go ahead.
Why? And it might be a question for Dean, but why haven't we started that earlier, knowing that we have 2 back-to-backs?
That's a question for Dean. I know part of it that he was gone at Antwerp. He was away in Belgium, so I don't know if that has something to do with it. But well, you know what? Hit him up a message on our group chat and clicky chat and see what the delay is, because I know we definitely got to get to that as soon as possible. But with that being said, this game is not till September, so even then, after June, we still have August where we can potentially do something. It doesn't have to be anything big. Again, it's just an idea that he threw out to us. The guys over at AFJA that they would like to do. They also want to help us out to do this. Essentially they're being very collaborative. So, all this is going to happen for sure. It's going to be September 15th. The game's at 7:30. So we'll probably do it like 3-4 hours before. It is a Sunday. That's the only downfall, right? Because a lot of people got to work the next day. But telling you guys now, try to make it. I can't confirm or deny. I'm going to see if my uncle still talks to Condeman so we can get him out there, and we'll make it happen.
All right. Last thing before sign off, I want to give a shout out to all you guys that tune in to YouTube and post in your stories. Last week we had a number of you guys do it, and we seen the engagement just flow in after that. We get followers because of that, so we really, really appreciate it. If you guys ever feel like doing it, go ahead and do it. We appreciate it. We love it. Keep giving us, the likes and the shares. We appreciate it a lot. With that being said, there's another episode of Straight from the Stands. I'm your boy Rudy. I am Smarts on Twitch. I am Smarts on Twitter. I am Smarts on the gram.
It's a J Undefeated 7, right? Oh, I got it. Hell yeah.
Aquí llegó otro loco salvadoreño. I'm about to be Condeman as fuck on September 15th. Yeah. Oh, at Live F 96. But also at Condeman. So,
Does he still have Instagram?
I don't know, but hoy la vi.
Must have signed off for me, dog.
Que le pregunté cómo has
Peace,
estado,
love,
mujer.
and Jesus.
Peace, y'all.
Felcher.